given the 30,000 pounds
what I will tell you now, and I've always said, the president always retained the option. Every president, not this president, every president always retains the option. I'm not talking about Greenland. I'm just talking about globally. If the president identifies a threat to the national security of the United States, every president retains the option to address it through military means.
Donald Trump threatens to seize Greenland. Europe panics. Brussels and NATO scramble, revealing a continent stripped of influence, powerless to stop Washington's whims. EU leaders lecture on sovereignty while secretly admitting they have no leverage. The Arctic is now exposed. Europe is a spectator to American aggression.
There have also been reports that the U.S. could potentially buy Greenland as one potential option on the table. What would such an offer look like? Is there anything monetarily you could provide, any details there?
Well, that's something that's currently being actively discussed by the president and his national security team. And I would point out that the acquisition of Greenland by the United States is not a new idea. This is something that presidents dating back to the 1800s have said is advantageous for America's national security. The president has been very open and clear with all of you and with the world that he views it in the best interest of the United States to deter Russian and Chinese aggression in the Arctic region. And so that's why his team is currently talking about what a potential purchase would look like.
The White House openly leaves military options on the table. Secretary of State Rubio prepares talks, but Trump's preference is clear. Negotiation, if convenient, force, if not. Europe has no real tools. Its diplomats frantically search a toolbox that simply does not exist. NATO's credibility hangs by a thread.
What I think the White House said yesterday is what I will tell you now, and I've always said. The president always retained the option. Every president, not this president, every president always retains the option. I'm not talking about Greenland. I'm just talking about globally. If the president identifies a threat to the national security of the United States, every president retains the option to address it through military means. As a diplomat, which is what I am now, and what we work on, we always prefer to settle it in different ways. That included in Venezuela. We tried repeatedly to reach an outcome here that did not involve having to go in and grab an indicted drug trafficker. Those were unsuccessful, unfortunately.
EU foreign ministers proclaim Greenland is not for taking, while behind closed doors they confess helplessness. Germany, France, Poland, talks, letters and statements mask Europe's panic. Brussels lectures the world on rules, yet trembles before a single US president. The West is divided, weak, and exposed. Denmark's envoys admit years of attempts to influence Greenland have failed. The island's future is dictated not by Europeans, but by Washington. Greenlanders reject foreign control, yet Europe cannot protect them. A strategic Arctic territory is at risk of becoming an American plaything. French Foreign Minister Barrot stresses unity with Germany and Poland to counter Trump, but the measures are largely symbolic. European capitals discuss deterrence, public statements, and letters to affirm sovereignty, but in practice, they face a superpower with nuclear and military reach unchallenged. Former Danish officials warn bluntly, Americans can do whatever they want. Europe is stunned, its NATO solidarity hollow, its Arctic defense non-existent. Diplomacy is reactive, not proactive. Every declaration, every summit exposes Europe as subordinate to US interests. Greenland stands at the epicenter of a new geopolitical crisis. Washington flexes, Europe trembles, and the Arctic is a powder keg. Europe's weakness is on full display. Unable to stop Trump, unable to protect Greenland, and unable to assert its sovereignty. For Moscow, the message is clear. The West is fractured, divided, and vulnerable.